This is PlascoTrac Visitor Management. I am presenting on behalf of PlascoTrac, and my name is Jim Springhetti. I'm here to show you really how this software would work from an end user standpoint. So when you log into PlascoTrac Visitor Management, and our visitor management solution here is designed to track, badge, and identify the visitors that come into your campuses in a quick and efficient manner, and obviously have the database in the background for you to be able to go back and research. So I'm going to go through right now just simply how you would identify a visitor and how you'd get to the process where you're able to print them off a badge. There's two different ways that you can extract the information from the visitor and enter it into our system. The first way would be to manually type in their first, last name, and date of birth in the fields here. The other method would be to use a driver's license scanner. A lot of our customers decide that that is the best way for them to be able to capture the information. I believe that it's the easiest way to just be able to type in their first, last name, and date of birth. At this point, what will happen is if you just go ahead and type in a new visitor here, let's say that we've got their birthday as 1960 here, you'll search them, and if it's a visitor that hasn't been to your campus before, you'll be prompted to go in here and enter in some additional information if necessary. All of this information in here is optional. The only required information is the first, last name, and date of birth. At this point, the photo can be captured with a webcam, or it can be captured from the driver's license that you're scanned, depending on how you're entering in the information. At this point, I'm going to move ahead without a picture. I'm going to save this visitor and get to the next tab, which allows me to enter in the visitor information. So I'm going to go with the main office as the visiting location, the visiting category. This will be a vendor. Again, these fields down here are optional. If you would like them to have a detailed identified badge that states where they're supposed to be in the building and what type of visitor they are, you can have this. They're optional fields. I'll hit next. At this point, I'll print off my badge. Fairly simple and very easy for the users to be able to get to the point to be able to print off a badge. The badge is printed to a Dymo printer with an adhesive label, and the visitor is then required to wear that badge throughout their time spent at the campus. I'm going to show you what it looks like for a visitor that's already been at your school. I'll use myself as an example. Since I've already been here before, it doesn't ask me for any additional information besides where I'm going to be going in the building and what type of visitor I am. It'll hit next. And if there's a photo saved in the system, that'll pop up. Our software has the ability to identify visitors that you would not allow into your school in two different formats. The first format would be through the National Sex Offender Database, which is controlled and managed by a third-party company that we partner with called Safe Advantage. The other way would be to identify custom watch list entries into our system and flag individuals that you wouldn't want in your building, such as disgruntled parents or ex-staff that may be left on a bad note, maybe suspended or expelled students, parents with custody issues, you name the circumstance, you're able to do that. So I'm going to use my friend here, Jay Cutler, enter in the information. Search him, and a watch list has popped up. This photo will pop up from the sex offender database if he's in there. This photo will pop up from one that's stored previously in your database. And I'll show you how to enter in those custom watch lists into the system in a second here when we show you how to configure it. The tab over here on the left will allow you to see who's still in your building, if you have anybody. You have two different reports that you can generate within PlascoTrac. You can look at individual visitors, and you can also look at past history of periods of time to see which visitors have come in a given period of time. Configuring is very easy. You set up your locations, you set up your visitor categories, your custom watch list. This is where you'll be able to enter in individuals that you do not want in your building that are beyond the sex offender database if you would like. The configuration and then the system are obviously going to be two tie-ins where we have the Safe Advantage service for the sex offenders and then the different connected devices that you have connected to the system. Evacuation is going to be able to give you off a quick list of the visitors that are in your building if you need to be able to evacuate everybody on the spot. So Peter, I'm going to open it up to a few questions for you if you have any. Looks like you've got a couple in here. How fast does it take to print a badge from a scanned license? That is really just simply the process that I had outlined here when you identify your visitors. So if you're going to scan using a driver's license scanner, that would take roughly 15 to 20 seconds. If you're not using a driver's license scanner, you've got the ability to just enter in their first and last name and date of birth in a very quick matter. Peter has also asked what background checks are provided and offered. That's simply going to be the Safe Advantage service that we partner with for the sex offender national database. In addition, you have the ability to enter in custom watch lists of those visitors that you've identified you do not want in your building. All right, Peter, if there aren't any other questions, I will stop recording the webinar here, and I can send you the link in a few minutes.